single reason specifically, without attacking secular humanism, because that's what flat earthers do. You're acting like a flat earther. So flat earthers attack the globe instead of saying why flat earth is better. So instead of attacking secular humanism, could you give me a reason why Christianity is the thing that is better for society? Tell me.
Yeah, so if you don't mind if I ask a quick question. Do you have a copy of Humanism 3?
No.
You know, you do follow Humanism 3?
It's a framework, yes.
Okay, it is your framework.
Yeah.
Can you, using the document of Humanism 3, debunk a single prescriptive statement that I make?
Well, your prescriptive statements were just something you made up based on your personal interpretations of it. And,
so secular Humanism 3.
Yeah, I was in the middle of talking, Andrew.
So Humanism 3.
If you want to calm down when I'm talking, that'd be great. Thank you. Yeah, what you did was you said, I think this is what the manifesto says, so therefore I'm going to interpret it this way and bring my own prescriptions. Well, Andrew, your prescriptions are your prescriptions, and that is literally a straw man because it is your own interpretation of secular humanism, which doesn't align with what everyone else thinks secular humanism is. You claim I don't know what an ad hom and things are. Trust me, I debate flat earthers all the time. But yeah, I don't have to argue against your personal prescriptions. We can just talk about what secular humanism is better for society. None of the things that you mentioned are about society. They're just what you don't like about secular humanism. What I'm just going to ask you is very simple.
Humanism.
Yeah, what I'm going to ask you, Andrew, is very simple.
How long are you going to filibuster, dude?
Well, I was literally about to ask a question. If you can calm down and let me finish my sentence, then you can respond.
Craig,
right, what I am going to ask you is...
Chill out, Craig. Stop spurging, Craig.
What I'm going to ask you, Andrew...
Craig.
I'm like 3 words away from the end.
Craig. Stop spurging. Calm down.
Are you okay?
Do you need a moment? We'll get to the question. Go ahead, Craig.
Do you need a moment, Andrew? It's okay.
Calm down, Craig.
If you need a moment to take a breath, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah. Craig, this is a great time to ask the question.
What I'm going to ask you, Andrew, is because you failed to do that in your opening, could you explain to us why Christianity is better for society?
Yeah.
Instead of just attacking your own views of society.
So let's make this really simple, right? So Craig says here, he says, well, that's your interpretation of the Humanist Manifesto. Do you see the problem? Yeah, everybody's going to have an interpretation of the Humanist Manifesto. Thus, if everybody has an interpretation of the Humanist Manifesto, including me, we can make prescriptions based on it, Craig. So now I'm making prescriptions based on the Humanist Manifesto for what? Society. Okay? You are asking about Christianity. I told you that Christian ethics are better for society because I can refute the prescriptions made in the Humanist Manifesto that I just made in the Humanist Manifesto. You, Craig, cannot refute a single prescription I made off a single tenet in the Humanist Manifesto using your own manifesto. Do you understand that?
Yes, Andrew, I completely understand
that.
So
doesn't that have a society entailment, a societal entailment, Crag?
Would you like me to answer the question, or are you just going to talk when I talk?
I can't wait. Go ahead.
Do you need a minute to calm down? It's fine. We can take 2 minutes, and you can... Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, get to the answer, please.
Yeah, so again, what you haven't done is explain why Christianity is better. You just said, I think it's better because I don't like secular humanism. That's not explaining why Christianity, what ethics, what morals about Christianity make it better for society. What you've done is simply attack secular humanism. You haven't given me a single reason why Christianity specifically is better. What you've said is Christianity is better because I don't like these things about secular humanism, and I want you to tell me why these things about secular humanism is bad. But Andrew, you aren't here to attack secular humanism. You're here to defend Christianity.
What you just witnessed is one of the cleanest debate traps I have ever seen. And here is the thing. Andrew walked right into it himself. The second Craig McNeil opened this exchange, he had one goal. Not to defend every philosophical detail of secular humanism. His goal was simple. Force Andrew to actually defend his own position. And Andrew could not do it. This is the part that blows my mind. Andrew spent his entire opening statement tearing apart secular humanism. Page by page. Tenant by tenant, and when Craig asked him simply and directly, could you explain why Christianity is better for society, Andrew had nothing. He kept circling back to the same move. Here is what the Humanist Manifesto says. Here is my prescription based on it. Now you debunk it. That is not a defense of Christianity. Oh, that is a deflection wearing a debate suit. Craig called it exactly what it was. He said, Andrew, your prescriptions are your prescriptions, and that is literally a straw man. And that is not just a debate point. It is a fundamental rule of honest argumentation. You do not get to invent your opponent's position, attack the version you created, and declare yourself the winner. You have to understand, this tactic has a name. It has been recognized as a logical fallacy for centuries. The reason it keeps appearing in debates today is because it works on audiences who are not paying close attention. But Craig was paying attention, and then Craig said something that cut even deeper. He told Andrew directly, "You aren't here to attack secular humanism, you are here to defend Christianity." 5 words that expose the entire strategy. It is because if your best argument for your own worldview is just pointing at the other side and saying they are worse, that is not confidence, that is desperation.
So you failed to do it in your intro, so can you just give me a single reason specifically, without attacking secular humanism, because that's what flat earthers do, you're acting like a flat earther. So flat earthers attack the globe instead of saying why flat earth is better. So instead of attacking secular humanism, could you give me a reason why Christianity is the thing that is better for society? Tell me what ethics, what morals.
Yeah, because when I make prescriptions based on a humanist manifesto, I can debunk those prescriptions using Christian ethics. You can't debunk those prescriptions using the humanist manifesto.
Well, go on then, debunk
That's
them.
why it's better. Okay, here, I'll show you. Let's give you an example. If we can go through these, we can get through
that'd be wonderful, yeah, because what I would like to hear is reasons why Christianity is better, not reasons why you dislike secular humanism. This isn't about feelings, this is about reasons.
Let's do this, perhaps, so that we're not talking past each other. Are you willing to steel man my argument here? Can you steel man it?
Well, your argument would be based on your particular version of Christianity, which is, which again?
Can you steel man my argument, Craig?
Which argument?
The one I just made, Craig.
Your argument is you don't like secular humanism. These are the things I don't like about secular humanism, so I'm going to say secular humanism can do these things, and that means that secular humanism is bad. That's what you've said, Andrew. You have given me a list of things that you think you can prescribe based on the Humanist Manifesto, right? That's what you've done, correct?
Uh-huh.
Right? So, therefore, you are saying, well, these are the prescriptions that I think I can give based on secular humanism.
Why do I think Christianity is better? What's my argument? Christianity...
You haven't said yet. What you've said, Andrew, is that Christianity can debunk these things, but you haven't explained how it can debunk them.
Okay, let's
give me specifics related to Christianity that debunk the things about secular humanism you don't like. Because so far you've given me no reasons why Christianity is better.
Craig, I'll do it. The prescription for one. Do you agree that the first tenet for secular humanism is knowledge of the world is derived by observation, experimentation, and rational analysis?
That's what I said, and if we go back to the slide, which you didn't present any.
Why do I need to present a slide?
Well, it's because we've got a big thing up there to present slides, and I thought it'd be nice to...
I have a slideshow. So anyway...
Yeah, because one of us prepares for the arguments. The other one,
I didn't prepare for the arguments because I didn't have a slideshow?
Yeah, Andrew, you've done a million debates like this. This is my second. I thought I'd do some research and prepare and, give something for the audience to look at. But,
can we get back to this? So do you agree, yes or no? Tenet 1, knowledge...
I did say yes. Maybe you have problems hearing, but...
Craig, you need to calm down, bro.
Oh, I'm fine. I'm waiting for your...
calm down.
What I'm doing, Andrew, is I'm waiting for your argument, but
I just want to make sure that we're clear.
Yeah, we are clear. But you haven't yet given an argument for your position.
Okay, so my prescription to that, Craig, is... The birth rate is low, therefore all women must be forcibly bred, and experiments must be conducted on them to maximize fertility and thereby maximize human flourishing because science, and that is good. Now, Craig, that's what I read from Tenet 1, right? Can you use any of the tenets in the Humanist Manifesto 3 to debunk that prescription or tell me why that prescription's bad?
So still no reasons why Christianity is better. That's what I'm asking here. What you're saying is explain why this is good.
Because
but I've yet to hear why
okay, let me explain.
You said you can debunk that using Christianity.
Then I'll explain. Yes. Yeah. So under Christian ethics, forcibly locking up women and doing horrible things to them would be a violation of God's law. It would be a violation of Jesus Christ's law to man. So because of that, Christians would say, no, you can't lock women up and forcibly breed and experiment on them. You're not allowed to do that, Craig. Now, Craig, I just gave you a demonstration of how Christianity would debunk this. Now, Craig, can you use the Humanist Manifesto to do it? Great.
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
Well, so your prescription is a straw man of secular humanism. It's all right. I can explain why. Right? Because secular humanism you've gone that there's a low birth rate, therefore we have to do this. Secular humanism doesn't say there's a low birth rate. Read the tenet again for me.
It says knowledge in the world is derived by observation, experiment, and rational analysis.
And then what was your prescription?
My prescription, based on my interpretation of this, is that the birth rate is low, therefore all women must be forcibly bred. Experiments must be conducted on them to maximize fertility and therefore maximize human flourishing, because science, and that is good.
So you're saying that secular humanism makes a low birth rate?
No, I'm saying that the interpretation here prescriptively on what I'm reading is that this prescription would not in any way counter that tenet.
Well, the fact that there's low birth rates isn't a bad thing. It's not low birth rates, it's lower birth rates.
Is locking women up and breeding them a bad thing? No,
absolutely not. We wouldn't.
That's not a bad thing? Or it is a bad thing?
When I'm in the middle of a sentence explaining something, that's when you be quiet and listen. Maybe I know you're used to talking
I know. I'm way out of line, Craig. I know.
Yeah, but if you let me finish my thoughts, it would be helpful. If I can finish what I'm saying.
Okay, go ahead.
So secular humanism is about harm, and locking people up and doing experiments on them is causing harm, and they wouldn't do that. A lower birth rate doesn't necessarily mean that things are bad. It just means that there is less people than having lots of people. Now, an extremely large birth rate has many problems. So we can look at what large birth rates cause: poverty, broken families, people being homeless, lots of things like that. So there's no reason secular humanism would, if there is a low birth rate, go and then lock people up and experiment on them, because that is not necessarily a bad thing. And having a slightly lower birth rate can actually help humans flourish. As a secular humanist, we're all about human flourishing, and having a slightly lower birth rate will actually help, because it allows better standards of living, less poverty, less problems, less children being abandoned, less family and societal problems from having too many people around. So you have come up with your prescription, which is a prescription I don't agree with. So I don't have to accept your prescription.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, so
if I don't have to accept your prescription, I don't even have to debunk it. That is your prescription.
Yeah.
And it's not what any secular humanism would say. In fact, that prescription is a logical impossibility based in secular humanism, because it includes doing harm. And secular humanists would not do something that includes harm. So Andrew, whether you realize it or not, and whether your audience realizes it or not, that prescription that you have come from, your interpretation, is a straw man of secular humanism.
A prescription's a straw man?
Your prescription is, because your prescription is based on interpretation that no secular humanism would come to the conclusion of. It is a logical impossibility that secular humanists would lock people up and do experiments on them. So to think that a humanist manifesto could include that as a prescription means that you have no clue what secular humanism is.